Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Astroneer Glitchwalker series. Today we pick up the action here on Aeolus, and we're here with our monster rover, and we're having a bit of an unpack in terms of what we've done already, and we're sort of starting to make a few plans for our next journey. One of the upgrades we've made is we've decided that one soil canister is not enough for the rover. It's in a similar way that with the drill, when your own mining drill, when you're trying to make bridges and things, if you've got to cover any amount of distance, you need a lot of soil canisters to achieve that in one sitting. Same story with the rover. So we're going to try and go with 2 soil canisters. Now, we did okay with just one soil canister previously. There was that one wide ravine that we had to cover, and we only just made it. But bear in mind, from this point on, some of our journeys are going to be to recover territory deep in the planet. And we know from the crystal cavern level that we've got to make some pretty long bridges. So yeah, we're erring on the side of caution here, and we're going to involve a second soil canister. What I'm now doing here is we've essentially removed, I believe, all of the science samples from the immediate vicinity of our base. So we've jumped in the tractor and we've just gone for a quick drive out down the road that we dug out in the previous episode to essentially just collect a couple of science samples and keep the science ticking over. I'm not sure how many more bytes we're going to need for this, but I want to have some in reserve in case we run into a problem and we need to unlock something that we weren't expecting to need to unlock. So, with that all out of the way and some samples on the back of the tractor, we're heading back to base. And yeah, that is where things will start moving forward. So, in that frame of mind, I would suggest you strap yourself in. I think you're going to need equally a very comfortable spacesuit and maybe a reinforced helmet as well, because I feel like there's going to be a bit of mining, drilling, going underground type things in this episode. So yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, we are underway in our deep core mining type exercise here on the large rover. The goal here is, obviously in the previous episode, we actually completed the restoration and unlocking of the second gateway, the Delta Gateway, and so we've essentially completed that cycle. And we're now moving on to what we need to have done for the Zeta Gateway. So, obviously the first step in this process is we need to find the Zeta vault. And we did a bit of a scan. I may have accidentally chopped that bit, but we did a scan, and essentially the Zeta vault is deeper than where the Delta vault was. So we're going to have a bit of a journey to the center of the planet type exercise here. But with this rover, it is so much quicker and easier. I mean, we're already at the Crystal Caverns level. So I feel confident that we're not going to take very long to get down to the level that we need to get down to. We're going to see some pretty picturesque things along the way. So, yeah, just sit back and enjoy. Alright, we've just elected to level our descent out here a little bit and do a fresh scan, just to get a bit of an idea which might be a more productive direction to be drilling down. And sure enough, there's our next vault, and we've just got to sort of change course a little bit off to the right and then resume our descent to whatever this new level is going to be. Now, if you haven't completed the Delta, Storm, and Gateway, this is where you'd be hitting the firewall. So you can only sort of go down to each new depth after completing the previous corresponding gateway. So yeah, just an FYI on that one. Now, the duly attentive of you will notice, we don't have any soil pillar type arrangements here that we can stick to maintain our soil supply. And two, this is a really big open cavern. So you might want to watch that little sort of powder blue thing count down, because that's how much soil we've got left, and we still have not got to the ground level yet. This one's going to be a tight one as well. And the good news side of things, though, that is our next vault right there. So we are going to come out pretty close to it, assuming, of course, we can get to the bottom of this without running out of dirt. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, we ran out of dirt exactly at the edge of being able to mine a little bit more dirt. If I hadn't changed direction then, we'd have completely run out without any ability to extend the ramp. Because I changed direction a little bit, I was able to have a little nibble on the side wall there, which gave me the dirt to, do the fill so that we could drive forward. So yeah, narrowly averting disaster there, but that's kind of how we roll. Well, quite literally, I guess. Now, we have reached the bottom. We're having a bit of a look around. Alright, we can see the vault we want is just over in that direction. We are basically still completely out of dirt, though, and yeah, that may not have been the best place to dismount the vehicle. So we're now somewhat away from the vehicle and sort of a bit floaty and thinking about where our next breath is going to be coming from. So we're going to have to kind of dig ourselves out in a slightly unconventional way. You can see the rover is sliding, and these bigger rovers do love to slide. So we're just going to smooth this out so that the rover can sort of slide down into this gap. And hopefully, anyway, it rolled over. It's all good. We're just going to dig ourselves out here and resume our efforts to get to that vault. Honestly, not much here that we haven't seen before, except, this lithium. We haven't seen lithium before. This is the first time we've come across it. Honestly, I don't know that I'm going to need very much lithium at this stage to get the Glitchwalker series completed. It has its uses, but it's been so long, I actually, other than I think batteries, I can't think what else it might be used for. So we're just going to grab some. If we need it, we'll have it. If we don't need it, yeah, it's not going to matter. We'll just throw it away later. Yeah, we got ourselves a bit of a road. We can right the rover and basically drive out and, get on with things. Alright, here we are. We are safely at the Zeta Vault. We're just going to power down our rover here and get ourselves all sorted to do the usual puzzle solving, unlocking type exercise. But before we can do that, like so many of the other vaults, this one is also elevated. We're just going to make ourselves a little platform to make this whole exercise a little bit easier. Alright, so we've got our unlock process completed and we now have the Zeta Rootkit. We're pretty much done down here now as far as the mission requirement because the storm stuff is all back up on the surface. So our last little side quest, I guess you could say, is we're looking for any minerals or materials that we haven't already explored. So lithium, obviously, we've knocked that one off the list. But titanite, which is the ore version of titanium, we haven't come across that yet. Now, I didn't want to look it up on a wiki in terms of where it is. Because I've actually already finished the game, I already know where it is. But at the time I was recording this, I didn't know. I was speculating that maybe it was on this layer, but I also knew that there are deeper layers where it could just as easily be the place where you find it. So I was kind of keen just to have a bit of a look around down here. There didn't seem to be a lot of aggressive plants down here. I know there's a couple, but it did seem to be reasonably warm and friendly. And, you know, while I wasn't in any perceptible danger, I thought, yep, I'll have a look around and see what I can find. In the meantime, yeah, have a little look at the surroundings. It's very pretty down here. And let's see if we manage to find anything else that might be useful. Yes, everything is very floaty down here, and you'll find this in the regular Astroneer as well. As you get closer to the centre of the planet, you tend to find that the gravity seems to get a bit weaker, and you end up being a lot floatier. It's distracting enough with yourself. I mean, it has certain benefits in the sense that by the time you get to the centre, your chances of taking damage from falling are almost non-existent. But in terms of driving these big rovers around, it can get a little frustrating because they just want to bounce and float in the air when you run into things. So it's slow and steady definitely wins the race as you get closer to the center of the planet. Now, something I am observing, we're already encountering harder stone. Now, the vehicle drill is handling it, but it's got me thinking, as I indicated before, there is deeper layers than this. And I'm wondering if this drill is still going to be up to the task when it comes time to, delve deeper into the planet. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, we're really scratching our noggin in terms of whether or not we're going to need the next drill up from this one for the vehicle. in order to be able to do the last bit of the Glitchwalkers, which is what happens after we do this Zeta storm. Yeah, I'm not going to give any spoilers at this stage, but just suffice to say that this drill is starting to suffer a bit in terms of just not being able to drill very efficiently through this harder rock. But we'll come back to that at a later time if it is an issue. For the moment, we're still doing a bit of exploring. We're still looking around. We're trying to see, is there any titanite around here? Most of the time when there is titanite, it's not, huge quantities of it. I mean, sometimes it is, but it's kind of hard to judge whether we're going to get a little or a lot when it comes to this Glitchwalkers DLC. So this is why I'm very intently looking around as I drive, is if there is some and it's only in small quantities, I don't want to miss it. Simply because there is some really good stuff that we can make if we've got some titanium. But so far, no luck. And through the rest of this exploration, I can pretty much tell you, yeah, there won't be any luck. There is no titanite on this level. But anyway, we're going to drive a little bit further, have another look around, and then we're going to get ourselves sorted to drive back to the surface. Yeah, before we head back up the ramp, I'm just thinking, look, I've got some room in my backpack. I may as well fill up with lithium on the backpack as well, and very easy to do with so much of it around. That pretty much concludes our activities for down here. Now that we're all loaded up, we've got what we came here to get. Yeah, time to saddle up and head back up to the surface. Don't worry, I have elected to give that bit a bit of a chop, simply because it took enough time and the episode was already looking a bit long in the tooth to leave it in, so I just took that out. Just rest assured that there wasn't really any mishaps on the way out. Just a very bouncy, rover experience for the first little bit, and then it all kind of settled down from there. Now we've got our Zeta Rootkit. We've processed that through, and now we're at the point where we need to gather Zeta Storm data. Ha, that rhymes. Anyway, we need 32 to unlock the full potential of our storm protection, and I am going to retrospectively say I would very much recommend doing that. My process here of doing a full unlock on every storm level, yeah, it pans out. It's definitely worth the time to do it. So in the coming episodes, we will be doing that with the Zeta Storm. In the meantime, we're just going to do a little bit of a tidy up here. We're going to look at anything else that we can do to rework the rover for the coming mission. But that mission will not be in this episode. We've reached the end of it. So, well, the end of the episode anyway. So if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.